Lunchbox is brought to you by Prezzo, another in a fine line of Burt Rappaport restaurants.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Beefo, and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome fave with shafafa on the side.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to a new week, another week of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. And it's a sluggish start after a long 3-day holiday weekend, but we're loaded up on the Let's Eat South Florida group, almost at 154,000 members now. And we did a little road tripping today, Mike Lubie.
That's what it felt like, actually.
We are up in the 561 and parts unknown for the Lunchbox until today. This is Palm Beach Gardens, a very hip happening area, this whole corridor along PGA Boulevard. And we're at Prezzo. Our friend Eddie Pozzoli is on the way, and he should be here any moment. But meanwhile, we're enjoying the digs and the surroundings. How are you, Lubie?
I'm doing well. It was a very long weekend. It wasn't the greatest on the sporting front, but happy to be here. It did feel like a trek, but it was worth the trip to get here to Prezzo Palm Beach Gardens.
For me, it was an hour from my house. I zipped right up 95 in those express lanes. They come in handy if you have the SunPass transponder, because it kind of got through all those little bottlenecks, and I made it here in under an hour. It's worth exploring food-wise. This area now between Palm Beach Gardens and Jupiter is really taking off. A lot more people are moving here. Obviously, a tremendous number of snowbirds, but also now year-round residents. And as evidenced by, we've got a nice bustling dining room behind us here. And also the other room on the other side of the bar, there seems to be like some sort of group. There looks like to be 40 women there.
Yes, like a luncheon.
Which, depending on your perspective, is either a fantasy or maybe a worse nightmare in the restaurant business. But I'm glad to see that they
it's great.
Cater to all kinds and beautiful groups here. And, we're going to be having a nice little celebration today, Lubie, National Burger Day.
Yes,
now,
finally.
Some of you might be confused because you say, but wait, hasn't it been National Burger Month all month? And the answer is yes. Especially our friends with Burger Beast and 954 Burger Month, which is going to be wrapping up this week with, again, lots of good burgers around the 954. And we're going to have some good ones here also. Even though it's an Italian restaurant, they have some smash burgers on their Summer Bites menu. They also have a regular burger, full-size burger
they do? Okay.
on their menu. Yeah, nice. Chad, we were talking with the manager here. So they got all your burger needs here. Some of them with a little bit of an Italian style, Italian twist.
Looking forward to it.
Mozzarella on the burgers. We also got meatball sliders because, hey, if you smash down a burger enough, a meatball, if you smash a meatball,
there's a burger.
You've got a burger. So let's see. The word of the weekend for me, Lubie, I know it was kind of a weird weekend for a lot of people. Annoying. It was just or aggravated. Take your pick of A words. Aggravating, annoying. The Panther game on Sunday. I mean, I was primed for a good home opener effort against the New York Rangers.
Especially after game 2 was such a tough loss. They controlled really the action from beginning to end and somehow end up on the losing end in an overtime where they took it to almost the end of the first overtime.
Now, again, there's such a roller coaster ride in these hockey playoffs. But, they outplay them in game 2 on the road. They missed the opportunity to go up 2-0 by taking 2 games in Madison Square Garden. But you figure, okay, they still got the one. Yep. They're going to come back to home ice. They'll hopefully go up. And again, for a second straight game, they totally outplay the Rangers, totally outshoot them. Yep. But they didn't out-goalie them because Shesterkin, the Rangers goalie, is just stymieing the
freaking brick wall.
Look, it was a great game to watch. I mean, if you're not a fan of either team, or even if you're a fan of both teams like me, I'm kind of split. But it was just a great game. I mean, the Panthers go up, then they go down. They're down by 2 goals going into the third period. They tie it up. They go into overtime. They're peppering. And it was funny because
they were aggressive.
I was watching the game with Val, and not like 30 seconds before the winning goal was scored by the Rangers. I said, hockey's such an unfair game because I've seen it a million times. I said, where one team is just totally dominating the other, and then the other team just goes down and gets some weird, wacky
goal.
tip-in deflection goal. And sure enough, 30 seconds later, it happened. And
Thanks for your prescience.
I didn't mean to put it into the universe.
That was annoying because I
That
thought
was-
because they had a great chance. I remember they had Reinhardt. Someone was behind the goal, and they had two guys, and I was like, dude, just pass it either one. He's gonna get it in, and he futzed around, as we say in Yiddish, and it was like he missed two opportunities, got nothing out of it. I'm like, oh, that's the end of that. They went down right after that score.
It was again aggravating because if he went by carrying the play and the amount of chances, the Panthers should be up 3-0 at this point. But that's not the way hockey works. It's a game of strange bounces and breaks, and now they find themselves trailing 2-1. And tonight, I'm not calling tonight a pivotal. I'm calling Game 3 was pivotal. Game 4 now is determinative.
Yes, it's
like if they win, it's a series. If they lose, pretty much the party's over.
Yes.
So I would call this the SAT word of the day: determinative.
Good for
Game
you,
4 tonight
Mr.
at
Tufts.
the Amaranth Arena. I saw Eddie Pizzoli came in. Here he is.
There
He's
he
there.
is.
Yeah, we're on the air. We started without you. It's hard to start the party. Eddie Pizzoli, proprietor here of Prezzo Palm Beach Gardens.
What's
and
happening?
Of course, Boca.
How
How
are
are
you?
you
Eddie,
doing,
what's going on,
Eddie?
my friend?
Great to see you. Sorry you started out without you, but we figured we had some sports talk we wanted to get in.
Sorry, I'm
you've
a
been
little late.
following this Panthers Rangers series. Are you a hockey fan at all?
I'm not.
You're not?
The only thing I watch for sports is F1, just because the time
series-
difference
Oh, the time
is-
difference. Okay.
makes sense for my schedule. Because
Even when it's in Miami?
that was the only one that doesn't.
How is
this-
Monte Carlo? I didn't even tune it on. I love that race. That setup is the best.
It's a great race, but it's almost like watching paint dry because that one. It's very hard to pass on. So if you don't do well on Saturday for qualifying, Sunday
You're
is
stuck.
you're kind of stuck unless there's a big accident or
Yeah.
something like that.
Who
So,
won? Is it the
Charles Leclerc.
Oh,
So Ferrari.
I didn't even know. I didn't turn it on. I forgot, and that was on Sunday morning, right? That was
So that's the nice thing is 9 a.m. on a Sunday. I can watch sports.
Yeah.
Typically it's everything
So you
starts when I'm at work. So
Yeah.
So you must be into football, the Premier League football matches, or
I'm not
so
a
much.
soccer person.
All right, you're an F1 guy. No, I happened to be in Monaco one year visiting friends. This guy's got to go back 30-something years, but it was there for race weekend. And, man, what the atmosphere in town is just all the beautiful people, the global, jet setters coming in and out, and those yachts parked in the harbor there in Monaco. I managed to talk my way into the casino. You have to wear a jacket at the casino there one night, and lost a couple of francs. Monaco, they use francs. They take French currency, but it was a fun time, a long time ago. But meanwhile, what's going on up here? We were just talking about the whole scene in the 561 and Palm Beach Gardens, and this whole area is booming, huh?
It is madness up here, in a good way.
No. I was gonna say that.
I was going to say, coming in
it's
to
all
the
going
day
on for
after a
lunchtime.
holiday weekend, you never know what you're going to get, and come into a dining room that's nicely packed for the lunch, and you got a big group over there. It looks like Chad
It's
is
like a luncheon.
drowning with 40 women over there, but
The worst places to drown.
that's true. That's what I was just saying. How's it been going up here? You mentioned it, and we wanted to check it out.
It's great up here. What's cool is you almost get a small town feel here. So it was we had a little bit of a hazing period for the first year and a half of being open. People were trying us out slowly, kind of getting to know us, and
Did this replace another restaurant?
Yeah,
Is
we
this just
replaced-
Chardonnay. No,
No.
that's still there. Or is it
Chardonnay's across the street.
Okay.
So originally this was Vic and Angelo's. So
okay. They had a okay.
when the building was built, it was Vic and Angelo's. I want to say they were here 15, 17 years, something like that. And in 2019, Laurent Tourneau opened Scusi,
Okay.
which was here.
Okay.
And then with COVID happening, and they kind of
They
took
fell
a-
by the wayside.
took a little bit long to reopen
Okay.
after COVID. I think they were following more of the New York procedure than the Florida procedure.
Mm.
So that when it came to reopening, they opened in September or October
Oh wow.
when everybody else had been open in May.
Right.
Yeah.
Got back for the
And
summer.
they ended up losing the entire team.
Oh.
Oh jeez.
And it was just it was tough to kind of get the ball rolling again.
And then they said, "Scusi, no more open." And then you kind of came in and saw the opportunity.
Yeah, we saw that, and we were able to get in here. And I think he also had Dune, which was kind of coming to fruition at the same time. So
he was more concentrating on the beachfront of Fort Lauderdale,
yeah, I think
which is a gorgeous room. I don't know if you've been down there, but
yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So
so
I think it kind of like was a good transition for them, for us, for everybody. Kind of
and it seems like so many people have migrated from parts south, either Boca or the Deerfield, North Broward, even Miami, but they're familiar with the Prezzo brand from all the Prezzos through the years, including in Aventura and of course the Boca original, and you got the Boca one going back up and running smoothly, and it's great to see again people enjoying themselves. We got beautiful pizzas coming out of the wood-fired oven.
Yeah, I love this setup. This place is
we
great.
took the liberty of ordering like the whole menu without
Good, I'm glad you did, because
I was doing some research yesterday, R&D, and saw that you guys are not only doing happy hours, but you do during the summer plates, and I think that's very interesting. And I don't know if this is what it is still, but it said from like 3 to 6. You're doing special. I don't know if it's portions, but prices and different kinds of things to get people in. And you're always big on the locals, and I think that's a really cool thing you guys are doing.
That's what it's all about. I mean, the summertime, and there was an article, I don't remember where I read it, but it was talking about how COVID like has forced people to eat earlier. And we're like, why not like play into this a little bit? And especially in summertime, it's so hot out.
Yep.
We're like, let's do the summer small plates thing where people can kind of pick and choose different things that they want to eat, where they're not like specifically set on like getting an entree. And it's more shareable options and at a discounted price. And you also get to enjoy happy hour prices for drinks at any seat in the house. So it's kind of like a double whammy for everybody.
That's big, because I know one of the things that rankles the people on the Let's Eat South Florida group. And again, the word of the day, because of the way the Panthers lost. And, I didn't even tell everybody about my heartbreak at this poker tournament yesterday. They were paying 44 spots out of a field of 345. Of course, I get knocked out after 9.5 hours in spot number 46, too off the money. So, again, that was aggravation was the word of the weekend. Annoying was another word for the weekend. And, but now we're not aggravated anymore. We're happy here. But one of the things that aggravates the people on the group is when they go to a place for a happy hour and they said, no, it's only if you're at the bar or at the High Tops. And now you're kind of expanding the playing field and saying, let's do it all over. So you can enjoy.
I'll give my 2 cents on that one.
Okay, go ahead.
If you'd like it.
Yeah, no, that's why we're here.
Guys.
All right. So the way we in the business talk about it is happy hour has always been a bar promotion. Yeah. It's something to get people in early, sitting at the bar, fill up the bar,
and you go sit.
Give the experience, make it feel like it's nice and busy when you're walking into a restaurant, because perception is reality.
Right. Yes. It's the first thing you see. And again, you got the beautiful outdoor patio bar area there. So,
exactly. Yeah. So that's, you fill those early times, the 4 to 5 o'clock, and then you start getting dinner server or dinner people trickling in. It's during season, 5 o'clock, out of season, maybe a little bit later, whatever it is. So you always try to save the dinner tables for people that want to come in for dinner and
have a dinner.
And then like high tops or adjacent tables to the bar, you save for like the happy hour or bar seating. But during the summertime, when it's a little bit slower, we can be a little bit more flexible.
Flexibility is key.
And just
and reward your loyal
exactly.
locals. Yeah.
So it's we got to play both sides, because we want to take care of the locals, but in season, hopefully our guests understand that season times the restaurants need to try to earn the money to make their way through the summer and to be able to provide the specials and deals that we provide to the locals.
And you know what I do, because I'm such a compassionate soul, Lubie, is I double dip. And, when we talk about a place like our friends at Tropical Acres, 75 years young, they have a happy hour that's in the bar only from 4:30 to 6:30. But then I go in there, I get my half price drink, I get my little white bites, and then go into the dining room and have the full-fledged dining experience, and could do that here at Prezzo too during the winter peak season. But now this time of year, they get more flexibility, so you could actually sit here in the dining room during the certain hours of the happy hours and the summer. You calling it summer bites? Or
summer small plates.
Summer small plates. Yes.
And so it's underway already.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay,
So we
and
have
so how long do you guys run something like that?
we're gonna run it through September.
Okay, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, once we get, back into the back to school stuff
Yeah,
and all that, like September is usually the slowest month of the year.
Okay.
Always depends on kind of when the Jewish holidays fall. So sometimes they're
Very late this year
okay.
because
If they're
it's
in
a leap
October,
year.
then, we might have a little bit slower start to October than typical.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's Rosh Hashanah is not until the first week of October. See, we Jews, me and Lubie, like the American leap year is just one extra day. The Jews, we give you a whole extra
Yeah,
month.
it's like a month. Yeah.
The Adar 2.
There you go.
How about that? I remember
Look
from
at you.
Hebrew
I don't
school.
remember that, so I'll give you credit.
But yeah, so like everything has been pushed back like 3 or 4 weeks this year. So Rosh Hashanah is the first week of October, and then Yom Kippur 10 days after that.
the
So
next
it's
week.
going to be a little bit later start.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
typically like right after those holidays is when the season kind of starts
Kicks
ramping
in.
up
Start to
again.
get
Yeah.
people,
Yeah,
especially
and
this area.
again, usually that's when the weather starts to break and
Mhm.
everybody can, the snowbirds
Walk out of your
start-
house without
Yeah.
dripping.
Do you keep a change of shirts in the car now?
I
'Cause
have
I
a
am
couple
gonna
at
say-
each restaurant. I do.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna start doing
Because
that.
it's
I was
it
almost
gets a little
embarrassed. I was like, oh,
steamy.
geez.
Definitely steamy out there. Hey, so we're at Prezzo Palm Beach Gardens. The address here, I should know it. It's 4520 PGA Boulevard. Funny part is the PGA of America used to have their headquarters, not the PGA Tour, two different organizations. PGA Championship is conducted by the PGA of America, but I think they just moved their headquarters to Texas a couple of years ago,
Oh,
or
that's
parts of it or something like that.
Yeah,
So
there's a lot of changes happening up here, but there's
more business coming.
Oh
Feels
my
like a lot's
God! I
going
mean,
on.
FPL's beautiful new headquarters
Oh, that's funny.
is right here off of 95 and PGA. They've got a second phase that's going into
Oh, wow.
into play. There's huge,
There's a lot of
huge
tech companies, I think, coming in here too, and being close to the Space Coast. There's
Mhm.
just like you said, a lot of activity.
a lot of government contracting companies because you've got Pratt and Whitney over here, and whoever works off of them, and there's a lot of action up in this North County area.
Yeah, and again, a lot of different restaurants, different types of cuisines. I mentioned Stage before,
Mhm.
Pushkar Marath. I don't know if you've been in there
No,
down
yeah,
the block,
great
but
spot.
But it's
he's
doing
a
well.
very talented chef, and
We're opening in Boca soon.
yeah, I hear that. And then so there's all kinds of things up here. I'd suggest come for a golfing weekend. Go play some
They
golf
bounce around.
at PGA National Resort, and then check out Prezzo and check out some of the other sights and sounds. It's definitely a happening spot.
Oh yeah.
And it's better to get up here for a weekend getaway than the Keys, which has just been an absolute nightmare lately. I don't know if anybody's tried to get down there, but
Well,
it's
driving through Miami is always a nightmare just to get to Cardstown or whatever
Right.
whatever
the,
that
the,
main
the narrow strip.
Oh, yeah, the road.
The road into Paradise,
No,
which
yes.
is no longer Paradise, because now every time I try to get down to Key West, I usually give up by the time I get
Exactly.
to Isla Mirada. And that brings us to this week's contest. We got to
There you
wrap
go.
up because it's a Tuesday. We didn't have a Monday show. So, again, the Gulfstream 10 pounds contest that we held last Friday when I was in Tallahassee, did it from a parking lot by
We
memory
did.
for
We
the
got through
first
it.
time.
It was fun.
And you know what? It didn't even make it to the tiebreaker of the Panthers-Rangers Game 3 result because we had a winner right off the bat. The place I was going for, if I mentioned Rum Runners in Isla Mirada, is there a place that you think of that? Did you ever go hang out down there?
Not huge on the Keys. I've
Okay.
been to lunch, but There
I
you
don't
go.
know. We ended up going. We stopped. It claims to be the place that invented the Rum Runner. Opened in 1969. It was part of a resort complex called Holiday Isle. It was the Holiday Isle Tiki Bar. Is the 4 words that we were going for. And with the holiday weekend, I figured Holiday Isle Tiki Bar. Some other people had Rum Runners bar, which was on the same property, came later, is gone. That's been gone for over 10 years. But Rum Runners was not the answer. Holiday Isle Tiki Bar was the answer.
Okay.
And because I mentioned that it's still in operation, well, it's been closed for renovations a couple of times, closed now, but that's why it would be the only answer based on the clues. So sorry for you people.
Well, you said 4 words. You gave
Yeah.
him that because Ken, the professor, was like Holiday Isle, but he may be going for Holiday Isle Tiki Bar.
That's exactly what I was going for. Great place for liquid lunches and dinners in the Keys.
There you
All
go.
right, so then once you got that, you advance to the Gulfstream race, and the winner, and only 2 people had the winning horse. It was number 5, Silent and Violent, and that brought us to the winner. The only one, because one of the people that had number 5 had the wrong name of the bar. They went with Rum Runners.
Oh, no.
So even though she picked the Panthers to win by 2 goals, that doesn't matter because she wins, and it's a first-time winner. And I always love that. I think it's 2 weeks in a row. Dorothy Morell,
Nice.
or Morel. I don't know how you pronounce it, but I'm going to go with Morel.
Either way, good for you.
Morel like a mushroom. Dorothy Morel,
You'll get out
congratulations. You and a guest have
10
won
Palms.
brunch for 2 at 10 Palms at Gulfstream Park in Hallandale Beach. Another one of our winners went, another first-time winner went on Sunday. Stacy said she had a great time. She even posted on the Let's Eat group. It looked fantastic. Great pictures, great collage.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Especially of the dessert bar. All right, Eddie, back to Prezzo. Is there anything, I guess, every night, besides talking about those summer plates, the small summer plates, and happy hour, you also got all kinds of other promotions going.
Yeah, we do. We try to do a bunch of different things. You know, up in North County, we found that live entertainment has really kind of taken a life of its own.
Nice.
So on Thursdays and Fridays here, the bar is like a crazy scene. We've got phenomenal musicians that come in, and it's a lot of fun. So whereas Boca is a little bit more subdued, we don't really push the entertainment like crazy in Boca. Up here, it's definitely a different type of
or does
experience.
Boca roll up the sidewalks at like 8:30 at night, or
more or less? You know,
I remember back in the day, like Boca used to have a good
I was
like
going to say,
quarter
there's a
house,
decent
remember
nightlife.
that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a nightlife.
they'd have some college spots and some singles spots and some clubs, but
we keep talking about like figuring out some sort of solution for that because the demand's got to be there somewhere.
I would think
Yes.
with FAU around,
like
where do all those FAU kids go?
They go to a lot of the Del Rey, a lot of the dive bars in Boca. So I'm not even thinking about that, but I'm thinking like the Blue Martini crowd and the Porterhouse crowd.
Right.
You know, both those concepts are gone out of Boca. So like, where is that niche being filled right now? Are people driving to Del Rey?
What
People
did
go
it?
out
Was
and
it the
grab drinks.
Botox or the Ozempic?
Oh, jeez.
The people. I don't know. All right,
I don't think Eddie's
you're a
going to
Boca
say-
restaurateur.
That's his
That's a
clientele.
loaded question. You don't have to answer that.
I advise you, as your counsel, do not answer that question.
I'm gonna just smile and nod.
No,
So
but it's true. It's not. People make fun of Boca, but it's not. At least in my life, I never thought of Boca like that. Like when you're from
that's
here,
dull? Or, I mean,
I never
it's
thought of
just
like old. You know, people think of Boca Raton when you watch Seinfeld,
Yeah.
but like if
Del
you're
Boca
from
Vista.
here, that's
There's
not how
a lot
Boca
of
Raton
action.
is.
No, there's a ton
I used to go
of
out a
action.
lot in Boca when I was in college. Like there's
Club Boca.
Club
Oh,
Boca, yeah. But I'm saying like, and people from that age group is now my age, and they still want to go out. And my friends go and grab drinks and go and do things on weekdays from time to time. Like it's interesting that it's gotten to what Mayo is saying because I never thought of it like that.
Yeah, there's definitely a need for it somewhere. It's just a matter of figuring out how to make it work and how to appeal because Boca is like such a broad range of people.
Right. It's also a big area. I mean, now you got all those Western enclaves and the gated communities and everything that got built out west, and more things are sprouting out. And you're kind of in between on the military trail. So, and I guess. Yeah, the challenge and the opportunity for a restaurateur is trying to
figure out what works and like what direction to go because you can't be everything for everybody. That's the one thing, especially in Boca.
Right.
You got to figure out which direction you want to go and kind of how to make that work and stick with it because you can't. Once again, you can't be everything for everybody.
No.
So
how do you decide? That's actually interesting. I know we're going to take a break and we have a lot to get to, but that's why we like sitting down with the chefs and the restaurateurs because you guys, everyone on the site, they paint the restaurateurs the evil. But what we've realized is your restaurant, you chose to do this. Like no one's making you do this. You actually
I like torture.
He's a masochist. There's
That's
sadism
true.
and there's masochism.
But you also like servicing people positively. You
Of
want
course.
people to have a good experience. That's the goal. That's how you make money, so you wouldn't be out to get them. It's the opposite. So how do you come to that where you're like, okay, we're not gonna make everyone happy. This is who we're going after. This is what we're going after.
So my wife and I, we like to go out and eat. We like to experience different things. And the way I kind of treat all of my restaurants is like, how do I want to feel when I go out to eat? And I like to think that we're like a decent demographic to kind of target and go after and whatnot. So that's kind of the way we kind of look at everything and make sure that the service being provided is what we would typically expect at a restaurant when we go out to eat with our friends or our family or whatever it may be. So sometimes that's not in line with expectations, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Other times, they're happy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Look, I think as long as you find a niche that
Mhm.
you're going to fill and
Yeah.
make some people, happy and feel like they're getting great value, great service, great food. I think you check all those boxes here.
Oh,
at
Yeah,
Prezzo.
that's the key. Is like we know what we can provide, and we know what we do provide, and just trying to get that out to the people, and hopefully even if we're not your cup of tea, you're not going to leave
Bitter,
saying like
salty.
that was terrible.
Yeah,
That's never the goal.
I've got a lot of ground to cover with you, just in terms of just where things are at in the business now, and
Yeah.
again that whole dynamic of consideration of price value versus what you guys need to charge to
Yep.
make the whole thing worthwhile
Yep.
Based on
Get to keep a
labor
business
and
running,
other
yeah.
costs. But let's get to that after the break.
Yes, sir.
We do have to take a break. Hey, I want to do a quick seafood trifecta here. Because this man here also is managing and has
Yes.
a big hand
Can't wait to
in
get back to Corvina.
Corvina
Oof, that
in
was
Boca
fantastic.
Raton. I don't know if you caught on the group. Somebody, I guess, was inquiring about how Corvina is, and a lot of
Yeah, we're rushed.
very positive comments were chiming in.
I've
there.
got some phenomenal news about Corvina too when we're ready
nice.
to talk about
Well, that's
that.
great.
Let's talk. Are we ready? I'm ready right now.
Well, yeah. So, not necessarily news, but what's been going on there for summer.
Yeah.
Okay.
We launched this promotion there. We wanted to do something different than the Prezzos, but still something equally or even more enticing.
Interesting.
And from 5 to 6 every day. So we open at 5 o'clock.
Right.
5 to 6 every day. We do the entire menu 50% off.
Oh wow,
So everything.
Wow, it's the golden hour.
that's what
We call it the social hour.
Social hour. Okay. Again,
And
we don't talk early bird anymore. That's
No,
a very
no, like-
1970s concept.
Hey, look,
but
he was saying
it's
my wife's like bordering on 30. I'm just over 40. We eat early it's just what we do. She's done with her workday.
Yeah, you
I'm
wanna
done
have
with
some
this.
food.
I'm hungry. We eat dinner.
And
like,
COVID
at
has
5:30,
changed
like,
people. People get done with if some people are still working virtually and they get done at 5, they're ready to go right out at 5
Exactly.
o'clock.
Yes.
Yeah, so perfect.
It's not an old person thing. My parents eat later
I
than
never
I do.
said
to be really
old.
honest.
I just
No,
said
not you.
early.
People always, and
It's
I
always
laugh
been
at that.
perceived.
I always thought that was funny. I'm like, if you can get a deal to eat earlier, I'd rather eat earlier. Like, I don't want to eat
you
at
can
9 o'clock.
digest before you go to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we launched this thing and we're like, it should get busy. Like East Boca is typically a ghost town in the summertime. So
Yeah.
we close one day a week because Mondays are very slow out there, as do most of the fine dining restaurants. And we just kind of taper it back a little bit. And we're like, okay, let's launch this thing right after Mother's Day and kind of roll into summer with this and see how it goes. So we send the email blast and do
Nice.
the typical things.
Yeah.
First day we launched this thing, we got a line of 40 people.
Oh,
out there.
great. Everybody loves a deal.
So every day since
I
it's
love
been
that.
it's
Oh,
been like
great.
busier and busier and
That's
busier.
great.
To
Do
this
people come in at 5:58 and try to attempt to order the whole menu?
Yeah, I mean you're always gonna get that, but it just
And
we
again,
try to
people-
accommodate wherever we can. And
good proper etiquette is get in there at least at 5:30, have a drink,
Yep.
order a couple things, give people time. Don't
Yep.
come in at the last minute and demand like you think you're going to get everything.
well, the problem when that happens, and I can explain it onto the group
Well,
so
the
everybody
software too,
understands
right?
it.
Like a lot of the time.
Well, the software changes at 6 o'clock, so everybody wants to get everything in right before that. So what's that going to do
You
to the
get
kitchen?
loaded.
Yeah.
The kitchen's going to get absolutely killed, and then here we are running around apologizing for stuff taking too long because
Yeah,
you
got
people that
slammed.
walked in
Yeah.
at 5:58
Yeah.
wanted to get it all in. So,
can't you just make it 6:15?
well, might as well
That
make
would
it
be
8
the-
o'clock.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole thing.
Just give away all your profits, right?
So
No.
the idea for it is obviously to provide a phenomenal value
Yeah.
and more importantly for us, knowing how it was last summer out there, we like pride ourselves on providing the freshest seafood.
Right.
Yep.
Oh, you
In-
got Jeff.
Yeah,
in
yourself,
Chef
the area.
Jeff
Jeff's
was great.
fantastic.
Can't wait to get back. So we'll get in there for one of those.
Yeah, we need to.
So
That's actually a great idea.
we have
We may
been
not need us actually.
burning. We're burning through seafood like crazy
and that's
because
from
of
5
this.
to 6.
5 to 6.
We'll
So
come in on the earlier side. We'll
Yeah,
come
we'll
in at
get there
4:30.
before then,
We'll
so
do a
before you get
4:30
hammered.
5:30 show.
yeah, the
before
one
they're
thing
lining.
we started doing is like soft opening
Yeah.
around 4:45
Okay.
so that the 5 p.m. reservations
Right,
can maybe
come
sit a little
stream
bit
in.
earlier and it's not all like at
Interesting.
Right.
one time. So we're kind of
And that's the way
finding
to
our
do
way.
it, folks. You come in on the earlier side,
Yes.
not at the very end
Yep.
at
We're-
6 o'clock.
Yeah,
So-
we're navigating through it, and it's a great problem to have that it's so busy
Yeah.
that people want to get in there and everything.
It's great. Create a little FOMO
Mhm.
and,
Yes.
the fear of missing out on something and
Yep.
supply and demand. The supplies are limited because there's
Yep.
only a certain number
So
of
you can always come
availability.
back the next
between 5
day
and 6.
and
Yeah.
or come
Great
after
idea.
6.
And again, it gives the people who are local the feeling that they are valued.
They matter,
and
exactly. I like that.
Rewarded.
Exactly.
And if you come in during the slower months, you're going to get something in return,
Especially, yeah.
and hopefully they'll come back again and again.
Yeah, so,
So-
the marketing value, the ability for us to still order fish the 6 days a week that we're open,
Yep.
get every day fresh fish.
Have
Like
it go. Yep.
that's like, and then
And that's at Corvina,
Mhm.
which is in
Boca Raton.
Boca Raton, Plaza Real. It's right off of Palmetto Park Road, just south of
Mhm.
Palmetto Park Road. Great place for dinner. So I wanted to mention that in the 561, and then in the 954, the newest hot place in Hollywood for, again, fresh seafood
remind me a
and
lot of Corvina,
innovative play. Again, similar menus for those who like to eat on the lighter and
Well-
healthier side.
Well, it's also the chef is very creative.
Oyster, yeah,
The chef's very
J&C
creative.
Oyster Company down on Harrison Street, 2035 Harrison Street. They're open for dinner only Wednesday through Sunday. They're in their infancy, just in their second month, but they are killing it there. And again, for seafood, no matter where you are in South Florida, there's always a good spot, and there's always a place that's Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved.
Yes.
Corvina in Boca, J&C Seafood in Hollywood, and of course in Broward, we've got our friends at Even Keel Fish
Yep.
at Las
Right in the
Olas
middle,
Boulevard and Lauderdale by the Sea. We've got you covered. If
Yes.
seafood and fish
They
is
have you
your
covered.
game on the Lunchbox. All right, let's take our first break, and we'll come back and talk more about the business and then eat some of the good food here on that the summer small plates menu at Prezzo Palm Beach Gardens after these words.
Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you.
Lunchbox is brought to you by Prezzo, another in a fine line of Burt Rappaport restaurants.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox.
Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo, and Lubie, the only show that covers food,
A sophisticated setting. I'm talking about Corvina Seafood Grill. It's at 110 Plaza Real South in Boca Raton, just south of Palmetto Park Road. It's the place to go for the freshest and local seafood and fish, some of it with a Peruvian twist like their great ceviches. It's open 7 days for dinner. They also have happy hours 7 days a week. You don't want to miss it. It's a great place. CorvinaBocaRaton.com for more information and reservations. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
Hey, you weren't kidding. This was a short break. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. Eddie Pizzoli, Prezzo, Palm Beach Gardens. We got Lubie. Defo is, I guess he's doing okay. He's on the mend.
yeah.
He was trying to walk a little bit. He's not hobbling, or is he
No.
in pain? Or
And the doctor said it's actually working. Whatever crazy thing he's doing.
I'm concerned when he drives because if the foot that the Achilles is troubling
you don't
him
want it
is
pop.
the gas and the brake thing. If the thing pops in the middle, and then you can't use that
Yes.
foot, and
So
then
that's
to
why he's
try
not
to use the
here.
left foot.
He's driving short
We're
distances.
we're keeping
limiting
him
his
on a
driving.
short leash.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Get better, Defoe. I hope he should be wearing it, but he's not going to listen to us. He's just going to do what he does.
Easy.
All right. Burger month, and you guys, even though it's Italian restaurant, you do have burgers on the menu here.
We
right?
do. We've got an espresso rubbed burger, which is
Oh,
Why didn't I
wow.
get
We didn't
that one? I got I got the sliders, espresso rub. Tell me more.
it is a really good brisket blend burger.
He's making a face like he's in love.
It's my jam.
Oh,
Literally.
really?
Oh yeah. So
Okay, Chad.
throw another one on the grill.
I'll have him order one. So we do that with a bacon jam
Nice.
on top,
Nice.
and it's like it's really.
It
good.
seems funny because obviously Italian themed restaurants, you gotta have pizza, you gotta have chicken parm because everybody wants chicken parm. But nowadays it seems like every restaurant, including high end, they have to have a burger on the menu.
Yeah, you
People
got
love
to.
burgers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just throw it right on here.
Yeah,
How are you?
you kind of need to have a little bit of everything, especially if you're open for lunch, because lunch isn't
That's nice.
lunch isn't necessarily the
Oh, here we go. Speak of the devil,
type
we've
of
got the
cuisine.
smash
Oh, there
burgers,
we
we
go.
got the meatball sliders, we've got the
grilled
that's
calamari.
the grilled calamari.
Grilled calamari.
Different. This is I love this.
I give you that's
All right.
that's-
Yes. All right.
That
now
has
we're getting
been
into it.
probably one of the most popular dishes on the summer small place
That's what
menu.
Chad was
That's what
telling
he
us,
said.
and it's different, and it looks beautiful. And we'll let Lubie take some pictures there before we all dive in.
So looks fantastic.
Here we go.
I don't think
This
we've had
is-
any of
look
these
at
things.
that.
too.
Look at that. That is
It's really
who
nice.
came
I
up
don't think
with
I've
the
ever
idea
had
for the grilled
calamari.
That's
calamari?
Chef David. We'll have to get him out here. I know
Yeah, if
he's
he has
here.
a chance, we'd love to talk to him. I've never, because he said grilled calamari, and I almost did a double take, like grilled calamari. I'm like,
All right.
that's inventive. Good for
Yeah,
you.
no, I mean, obviously, you see a lot of grilled octopus around
Yes.
town. And calamari is usually dunked in batter and fried, and then
Yes.
people.
Which we also have.
Yeah.
But
Again, that's popular. The frita misto
Yep.
in Italian restaurants, where you get some fried calamari and some fried zucchini. But this unique, innovative. I love it. And believe it or not, even though it's Burger Day, and why is today Burger Day? First of all, shouldn't like National Burger Day
Memorial
either
Day.
be July 4th or Memorial
Day.
Day, because that's when everybody is
Mhm.
grilling burgers. But somehow it became May 28th, a calendar thing, and then it's also Burger Month. So I say too much. There's like somebody should make up
never
their
have too many
mind.
burgers. I'm a big burger person.
All right. Would you like to
Yeah, sure,
have
I'll
some of
take it.
that? And I'm gonna cut into it. And this
Let's
looks.
see.
Oh, here. Here. I'm hogging all the
Oh,
folks.
it's okay.
You got
Here.
it. That's it. And I'm gonna go in on the grilled calamari here
Looks
at
nice.
Prezzo. Looks very summery. It got the cannellini beans, the white beans. No, that's fresh. That's delicious.
It's really nice. I like the tomatoes thrown in there.
Nice and tender.
Very tender.
I was going to say that I think
And-
it's brave. It's not the easiest thing to cook and
Since we were talking
make it not
seafood,
chewy.
that is a gorgeous dish. And because it's National Burger Day, I'm going to do my obligatory. I'm going to spare everybody the big bite. It's a smash burger. It's got grilled onions on it. Looks like it's got, what is it, mozzarella cheese on it?
think it's
Or
mozzarella.
I think there is some mozz there. There's caramelized onions.
caramelized
I
onions.
think a little truffle.
Truffle.
Truffle something.
All right. No big bite for me. I'm just going to take a normal bite.
Yeah, it looks nice though.
That's a mighty fine. And look at this. It's a smash
bag of
burger
pink.
that's actually pink, beautiful
impressive.
medium in the middle.
There you go.
Wow.
They said it couldn't be done, but it
Honestly.
can be here at Prezzo.
Yeah.
Because you know
This
me,
is fantastic.
I like my burgers done medium rare to medium. And a lot of places, when they say, "Oh, sorry, we can't do a smash burger. It has to come to medium well," I was like, "Doesn't have to. If you know what you're doing, you can get the caramelized
You can do
edges."
it. It's just it's difficult when it's super busy to
Yeah.
to be able to execute that and get exact temperatures for everybody.
Nice. Well, I'm a very happy man. And then, of course, we got the classic margarita pizza here. You got the meatball sliders. Like I said, like a burger, if you just smash it down a little bit,
There you go.
There you go.
it's meat,
Mhm.
and it's with a little sauce and mozzarella.
You guys want a piece of pizza?
Oh,
Sure.
who am I to say no? My regimented eating has gone out the window, but it looks like a beautiful margarita pie here. A little bit of
Thanks,
fresh
sir.
mozzarella. Got the crunch. And good sauce. I love when you just get that good.
Nice sauce. Yeah.
You just do crushed tomatoes.
Not overwhelming. I love as he's biting, you ask him the question.
No,
Well, now he's getting the hang of the lunchbox. We don't let a little food in our mouth stand in the way of a good conversation.
No, but it feels like a simple sauce, but that's what you sort of want. Like you don't want it to overwhelm the pizza.
the key is balance because you can try different pizzas all over different places, and this one's got too much crust, this one's got too much cheese, this one's got too much sauce, this one has too much basil. So like, kind of finding that balance between all of those things,
All of the things.
making sure you can taste everything, but nothing's super overpowering is the key. And then obviously making sure the char is right and oven's where it needs to be, and they're maintaining the oven the way it's supposed to be kept.
Well executed food, well executed catch right
Yeah,
there.
that's what I do.
Save and a Beauty by Eddie Pizzoli. He says he doesn't know hockey, but this is a place where you get really good food, good value, good service, and it seems like we've got a canasta game breaking out. What? That's not canasta. What is that? We got bridge.
You're asking me the wrong thing.
I just thought that people feel comfortable enough to just hang out and just enjoy themselves. Like honestly,
You want to shoot a game of craps?
yeah,
there?
we're gonna say spades.
We
You
did
know
that
what?
after we closed.
You know what? I guess.
But I think it's
well,
interesting.
you know what? That could be a question for the group. You try to make sure you turn the tables, but hey, if you want to have a little card game and it's not too busy, what do you?
I'll give you my 2 cents.
Okay, go for it. Hopefully, not too loud with an earshot.
Once again, it's summertime,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Summertime and the living is easy.
and it's if there's a need for the table, that's a different
you can
story.
pressure
But
Right.
we're in hospitality, so we got to figure out how to keep everybody happy, how to accommodate everybody. If they want to play games, great. I'll move the
Okay.
reservation somewhere else. If it's Saturday night, 7:00,
Yeah.
Right.
then
For a
we're-
Tuesday afternoon,
We're hoping that
to
people get it
1:30.
too, you know.
Okay, it's
Exactly.
good. And I see other tables are available for those guests who
yeah,
want
so
them.
let them enjoy.
And let them enjoy. I guess my only thing would be this is that if I'm sitting at a table, and again, I know some people who park at tables and set up offices, and they do that at Starbucks, coffee shops, but I kind of say, well, you're not paying rent to the restaurant, but maybe you should pay a little extra rent to the server for
Yes.
the time. And even
that's
if you're
the table
not
they could have.
ordering more things, I would maybe double the tip, or incrementally increase it based on how many minutes or hours you're spending at a table. But that's just me. Again,
Yeah.
compassionate, reasonable guy.
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
I think if there is an extended period of time, especially it happens to us often when people come in late for dinner,
Mhm.
and they might be on a first date or whatever it is. Generally, it's the last table in the restaurant.
Yep.
And they're so enthralled talking to each other
Yeah, they're
that you don't realize the restaurant's closing around you, and it's our policy not to ever tell people we're closing.
you don't rush them
Really?
out.
No,
Oh,
that's
that's nice.
not don't take advantage of that, but
No,
I don't ever
Finish
want
your meal
anybody
and
to
your
feel.
conversation. But if you see all the chairs going up around you and they're spraying the ammonia on you, might be a hint.
But no,
Not that you guys would ever.
the
do that, no.
policy is to keep the restaurant as if it's open.
Yeah.
While people are
Oh,
here.
wow.
So it does create a little bit longer of a night for everybody. So if you do stay beyond a closing time or well
Mhm.
beyond a closing time,
Make it worth a while.
Yeah, they're not getting any new tables to make tips off of. It's just that you're
Ew,
basically making them have a longer night. So take that into consideration.
Yep.
And yeah, just use common sense. That's it. And that's another topic that sometimes it hasn't been on the group lately, but when you post operating hours of a restaurant, does it mean like if you go from 5 to 10 p.m. for serving dinner, does that mean if you walk in at 9:55 p.m. you will get treated and seated as if you were walking in at 6 o'clock?
if you walk in at 10:05, I'm seating you.
Really?
Really?
Mhm.
Really?
Because the consensus on the group from people
Oh.
both in and out of the industry is, don't expect anything. If you walk in, don't expect anything except the stink eye if you're going to walk in at 9:55. But I always thought those are the seating
Yeah, of
hours. And if
course.
you walk in and get seated by that hour, then they're prepared to serve you for whatever the duration of the
Unless it
meal.
specifies like last seating at 9:45 on the door or wherever, I'm expecting the restaurant to be open
That's
until
good,
that time. So
good to know, because that's
Interesting.
how I always regarded the hours. Is that's
Yeah, I
when
know.
you can walk in
Right.
and be
Thought about that.
expected and greeted like maybe not a long lost loved loved one,
but not be.
Well, it doesn't mean you can't order fast. Like,
Right.
you want to like,
be efficient.
yeah,
Use
get in
common
there
sense.
and say, okay, I know you guys close at 10. It's 9:55. Let me give you my entire order
Right.
to
Get out.
to get you
We'll
going.
get
but-
everybody on their
Mhm.
way. Yeah, no, and like you said, again, communication, clarity is key. If you want to have people, if you want to have a last seating a half hour before your posted hours, then just put it on your website and put it
that's
on the door,
Yeah.
and just say, hours 5 to 10,
Mhm.
last seating 9:30. Our friend Kaizen at Hui at Kaizen Sushi does that. He has a last seating policy very clearly spelled out, and I
Oh,
think
good for
that's
him.
all anybody wants is just
Yeah, you just
make
wanna know.
things clear so there's
Communication.
no confusion, because confusion brings the word of the day, aggravation,
Yes.
and annoyance. Nobody wants that.
Mhm.
Hey, if you don't want any aggravation or annoyance, you can go to our friends at Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market in Hollywood. If you're going to be planning any kind of cookout, barbecue, graduation party at home, they are the headquarters to get all the freshest in fish, seafood, poultry, steaks, sausages, all house made, all varieties, and of course some great grab and go items like their fish dip and their salmon dip, and they have cream spinach, and they have all kinds of goodies, including their broasted chicken, grab and go lunches. They're at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood. They're open 7 days a week, and the website is DelawareChicken.com. Check it out for the latest deals, weekly specials, and the daily offerings from the sea. They get everything in fresh every day. That's the Delaware way: value, freshness, and quality. Tell him the lunchbox. Oh, I got a little something caught in my
And
throat.
more after this, more with the one and only Eddie Bozzoli here at Prezzo Palm Beach Gardens. Mike Mayo's Lunchbox after this.
Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 in the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Be one of the best restaurants in Broward, J&C Oyster in downtown Hollywood. At 2035 Harrison Street, this place is fantastic and worth a drive. It's got creative, cutting-edge seafood and more with an Asian twist and gorgeous cocktails. Chefs Raheem Seeley and Monica Dominguez cut their teeth at some of Miami's best restaurants. Don't miss some of these fantastic dishes, including grilled oysters, fried chicken, and the Thai red curry crab. Open Wednesday through Sunday for dinner with daily happy hour and outdoor seating. Go to jncoyster.com for reservations and information. Tell them Mike Mayo's Lunchbox sent you. Are you looking for a good New York style slice? How about lunch specials for under $9 that come with garlic rolls and a fountain drink? I'm talking about Stromboli Pizza Kitchen in the Fountains of Plantation, 801 South University Drive. Since 1987, it's been home to Brooklyn-style pies and slices, heroes and paninis, pastas, and all your Italian-American favorites. It's got the unpretentious vibe of the pizza places of my youth with daily specials, family dinners, outdoor seating, eat-in, carry-out, or delivery. Open 7 days a week. Go to Stromboli'sPizza.com to place your order today.
We're back on the Lunchbox. We're at Prezzo, PGA Boulevard, Palm Beach Gardens, and we're now joined by Executive Chef David. Once I took a bite of that grilled calamari, I said, who came up with this? And Eddie said, Chef David. And I said, we got to talk to this guy. How are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. We usually don't venture this far north on the Lunchbox, but I'm glad we did because, again, this summer small plates menu that you got going on, some mighty tasty bites here. Just polished off one of your sliders, which is topped with mozzarella for the Italian touch at Prezzo. But yeah, just tell us a bit about, I guess, how'd you come up with the grilled calamari? Because I don't often see that.
Well, obviously, when you go to a lot of Italian restaurants, you have calamari, whether it's sauteed in 20 or pasta dishes or it's fried calamari. A lot of places have that fried calamari, obviously. So with the fact that we have a grill and we're able to utilize the grill in many ways, I thought, why not, make a twist on calamari for people to try, open up their taste buds, and try something new that they're not really used to. So marinating the calamari steaks and, herbs, olive oil, salt, letting it just marinate for about 24 hours, slap that on the grill. We cut it when it comes off medium. And then for the base, instead of your typical, like we have a Mediterranean octopus, it's also on the summer small plates. Instead of, your typical salsa verde with a cold salad and your warm octopus on there, why not make the whole dish warm? So I take, white beans, saute those with garlic and oil, fold it in some of those beefsteak tomatoes, nice and chopped, and a little arugula. And then put that on the bottom. Yep, put them on the bottom of the plate. Nobody thinks to heat up arugula. Usually it's cold, so why not?
What happens when you heat arugula? Because I got to admit, I've never really done that.
Make it melt.
It's already a peppery green, even when it's kind of raw and cold.
I mean, it just brings out that nice aroma itself and brings out that peppery flavor itself.
Yeah, no, it works. And I guess the key is, it gets a little bit wilty, but, spinach gets wilted and it still has good flavor. Gives it a nice brightness, green on the plate. Job well done. That is fantastic.
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Eddie was saying that you go back with him for a ways.
Quite a while. Yeah, we go way back. Basically a little bit about me. Born and raised Los Angeles County, California.
Really? Oh, wow.
21 years. Went to culinary school straight out of high school. It was either, that or probably pursue something in the law enforcement field. Really into reading, understanding the analogy of how things work and the whys and the, if this, then this. I'm really always been curious on those things. So, that, and then, growing up, just being in the kitchen with my grandmother a lot, watching her cook.
What does she cook? What were her specialties?
So her background, my grandmother's background is Spanish oriented. So it was a lot of Spanish food. So me, there's a lot of pictures of me back in the day, just sitting on the counter and just eating olives while my grandma was cooking, or just watching her and just tasting stuff while she's cooking. And that was the one thing that I liked besides, law enforcement field. And, my mom obviously thought it was a lot safer for me to enter the chef field.
I don't know. Some of these kitchens I've been in,
absolutely.
knives are flying.
Pretty violent, yeah.
Exactly. So, went to culinary school right out of high school. That was just kind of no brainer. I was one of the youngest guys in there. I was actually one of the youngest, I think I was the youngest in my whole entire graduating class.
Nice.
So I was 18 years old entering, 19 years old by the time I graduated. I already had a job lined up.
What school was that?
Lee Cordon Bleu, College of Culinary Arts in Pasadena, one of the last graduating classes before they shut it down.
They shut. Oh, wow. A lot of these culinary schools have shut. Yeah.
And then I had an opportunity about a year later to either stay in California and keep growing, or just, change the vibe up, change the scenery up, and follow some of my family members who moved out here.
Interesting.
So I came out here not knowing a single soul except for my family members, and that was it. I kind of just fell into the Italian craft. I love Italian food the moment I worked with it.
Who doesn't love Italian food? I mean, it's comforting and most popular food in America. So it's good. And then how did you get linked up with Eddie? And you worked at Tavolino?
I was working. So I initially started working at Casa D'Angelo's, Angelo Elias.
Which one?
Under his
he's
wing.
also one of our Lunchbox sponsors, and awesome. Angelo, great guy, and
great guy. Him and Chef Ricky as well, and I was working for them for a little while in Parkland, and then obviously just through meeting people, I ended up meeting a server who worked there, who ended up opening the door to meet the chef over there in Tavolino's, and I got hired through the chef over there. I just started as a basic pantry cook, line cook, and just kept working it up, and then before I knew it, I was just getting more affiliated with how they ran things, and then meeting Eddie and Christina, his father, the whole family as a whole, being really welcoming, not your typical owner, just more so like an operator. This guy's washing dishes and everything. I'm like, is this the owner or is this
you gotta like a hands-on
Absolutely.
owner. And again, that
Yeah.
shows you that they're invested and that they're not above. Yeah,
Exactly. So those
things the
one
right
of
way.
those things that was just like, I'm at this point, I respect nothing else but the fact that you are understanding of what we go through, and you're not afraid to get in there and make a pizza, toss a salad, or whatever it is.
So now, are you spending time exclusively here, or are you jumping around a little bit?
So just recently, I took over the reign of a corporate executive chef. So I'm basically in place of both Prezzo's.
Oh wow!
Congratulations.
So we do have our aces in our places in both locations. Sous chef here and a couple of sous chefs over there. We're an executive sous chef as well. If I'm not there, he obviously would be the number one. And just constant communication and just trying to make sure that they're getting the same experience, whether they're in Palm Beach Gardens or in Boca Raton.
Yeah, consistency is key.
Mm-hmm.
And again, the menu at both locations looking spot on.
Absolutely.
Some of these delicious dishes like a grilled calamari. That's a winner.
That was fantastic.
And you're hitting it out of the ballpark with a bunch of these summer
The
bites.
meatball slider was
I'm
great.
going to go in. Did you?
Yeah.
You already ate
I
it.
polished it off. The meatball was fantastic.
I like that. Yeah.
It's interesting. You're coming from LA with a Latin American background.
Mm-hmm.
You've mastered this type of food, and maybe look again. A lot of people love the food, so maybe it wasn't easy, but I like that you're taking chances with the grilled calamari, and you hit out of the park. But then you're doing the pizza was great. It's a pretty. That was great. That
Awesome.
was really good, and it feels like it was out of Nona's kitchen, which is actually pretty impressive that you guys are doing that here. Well, you're from LA, you're down here, right? Okay, do you get an Eddie, and that's why I love talking to Eddie, because he and his wife get out and they try and taste the local flavors.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get out? What are the kind of things that you like to do when you're not in the kitchen to expand what you do in the kitchen?
Yeah, so there's two places of cuisine that me and my wife like to go to. It's usually either Italian or it's something of like the Spanish culture, Mexican, Brazilian, anything that's Spanish.
Peruvian?
Yeah,
Peruvian
anything of that nature, anything. But especially when we go to Italian restaurants, we like to take our time there. I like to look at the menu, read everything. I might not order a bunch of things, but I'll read every single detail top to bottom. And then I'll try to put myself in the kitchen as if I work there and see like, how are they doing this back there? What is this? How are they using that? Oh, they labeled this with this, but where is that actually coming into play? And I always think like, what does the chef think over there? And then the next place and the next place. And then I come back and I brainstorm my own ideas. And then I kind of just get to that.
That's it.
Like creativity. It's kind of like self-teaching with the whole creative mindset of just creating dishes like this. Like I saw one chef do a grilled calamari, but he did a different setup. But I've seen somebody else take arugula and toss it into a pasta. So I'm like, well, why can't I toss that into beans with tomatoes and lemon and olive oil and stuff like that? And just
it works. Does it make sense? I used to be a critic, for a newspaper, and I always approached every meal of wanting to be both excited by something I hadn't seen before, which this fills that bill, and does it make sense, or is it too contrived and being too cute? And in this case, a complete success that makes perfect sense. So job well done on the grilled calamari and all the items here. Keep up the great work, Chef David, and hopefully we'll be seeing you more on future lunch boxes at different establishments that are operated by the great Pozzoli hospitality clan.
Absolutely.
And thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
We're going to take our final break, and then we'll come back with Eddie, who has some news about the aforementioned Tavolino's in Coral Springs after these words. From a scratch kitchen, delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar, a great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips.
For reservations and more information, go to bashsouthernkitchen.com. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, and also now with a new location on Las Olas Boulevard. Those are my spots. Upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. Best restaurants in South Florida? Casa D'Angelo is always at the top of my list. First class dining, top flight service, elegant atmosphere, and chef founder Angelo Ilia is legendary. The flagship in Fort Lauderdale has been serving the finest Italian cuisine since 1997, with other locations in Boca Raton and Aventura. As Angelo himself says, they have an unwavering commitment to unparalleled quality with meticulous attention to details. It's so good, with house-made pastas, pristine seafood, unique meats like elk chops and bison, and seasonal specialties including fragrant fresh truffles from Italy. All locations open 7 days for dinner. Reservations recommended. For a special occasion or any occasion, Casa D'Angelo. Tell them Mike Mayo sent you. If you're looking for an exquisite sushi experience, Kaizen Sushi Bar and Grill in Fort Lauderdale is the place to go. 5640 North Federal Highway, just north of Commercial Boulevard. Chef owner Hui Lam, he's a sushi savant, slicing and serving pristine fish and seafood flown in directly from Japan and around the world. Nigiri, sashimi, special rolls, and omakase dinners. He's ruined me from going anywhere else. It's that good. Open 7 days for dinner and also for lunch. Even if you're not a sushi fan, they have great cooked options, including steaks, chops, rice and noodles, and other Japanese dishes. It's fantastic. For reservations and information, go to kaizenflorida.com. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk, and soon in Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for a Sunday brunch, and Taco Tuesdays with their $4 premium tacos, including their new birria tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-face smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo, the Lunchbox, sent you.
And we're back on the Lunchbox. We got Eddie P is back in the picture. Lubie is on the mixing board. He's going to sit in a second. I polish off my meatball slider and my burger slider and my grilled calamari, and I have a little bit of pizza crust because I'm trying to cut back on the carbs.
Good for
about
you.
that.
That's good.
And Eddie, so you mentioned a little bit something about a place that your family used to own and operate, and then sold, and then now is gone by the wayside. Tavolino, can you tell us what is the latest going on?
I will tell you, people have been asking me literally about this exact spot for months, and I'm like, we know Eddie, but I can't really see.
You know, reason number one, it's always difficult working with family. So, you know, my wife and I are, you know, we're like, okay, let's, you know, next thing we do, we want to set it up a certain way and kind of grow from there. So, being that we own the building, you know, at some point we figured, you know, whether or not the tenant renewed his lease or, you know, whatever it was, we would kind of end up in a similar situation down the road. Did I think that the restaurant would go out of business? I thought we were a staple in Broward County. And
Coral
you know,
Springs in the
You
Northwest
100%
community,
were, for
Tavolino, Delanote
Mhm.
was
Like swore by you. I know a ton of people that
regarded
swore by that.
as the best Italian restaurant in Coral Springs. But then things happen.
yeah, we sold the business, and things change, and Bruno, our chef, who was with us for quite some time, I want to say he was with us 8 years. When we sold the restaurant, he opened his own restaurant, which is doing phenomenal. Livello.
Right. That's Livello.
Mhm.
Okay, and now Bruno worked under the the new ownership for a stretch,
Mhm.
and then decided it was time also to branch off on
Mhm.
his own. Livello has been open since December.
I've heard
Has
great
a very
things.
loyal following. I was in there earlier this month with Dickstein.
Yep.
We had a fantastic
Mhm.
meal. I haven't done the full write up yet. I'm still I'm behind on my report card of my book reports. I'm sorry, but yeah, no, he's doing well. And then you've also got that. It seems like it's getting a lot more competitive up there. But what are you guys going to be doing now? You've taken back the space.
So
right?
yeah, we unfortunately, the tenant we had sold the restaurant to the day after Easter. So all through the month of March, seems like there was games being played with the guests, and this week they're open, this week they're closed, this week they're open, this week we're closed, and that's kind of when we started getting a little nervous as the landlord,
Right.
like what's going
Well,
on.
you get a
over
sense
here.
things that might be going
Yeah.
amiss.
Well, you've
and
run restaurants,
You
you know
heard
how it works.
reports, and and that's
It
kind
is-
of in the
it-
past.
It
He-
is. So
And that's now the bottom line though is you own the property. There's an empty space. So what's going to happen?
So we went back and forth, and we said, you know what are we going to do? At least we had quite a few people
You
reach
can be
out
the
to
landlord
us,
really?
again and
and
yeah.
being that the space was very successful,
Yeah.
we want to take it over. We want to bring it back to its restore it
It's
to
a
its
very busy
original, this
area.
and that, blah blah blah. And my dad and I were going back and forth of like, why are we going to
Give it-
potentially end up in the same situation that we're currently in with somebody new when we know what we're doing. We operate and own 3
You
restaurants.
guys made it a powerhouse.
And we built this one up. We have my Coral Springs people. I grew up out there. Like it's family out there.
Yeah,
We're very fortunate with the loyal following that we built up out there, and
Yep.
who even traveled to Palm Beach and Boca to see us.
Wow.
So we're like, you know what? Let's give the people what they want.
Oh, wow.
and we decided that we're gonna reopen the restaurant, but we're gonna open under a new brand.
Okay.
So a new name,
but
Italian, similar
But the same
concept.
location though.
there's gonna be
Some
sprinkles of a
tweaks.
little bit of everything.
Okay.
We're gonna take the best from what we're currently doing.
Oh,
and
well, look at that. It's a late arrival to
The
the
pasta
game.
carbonara.
Lubie's pasta carbonara. Nice. Look at that.
This is
Yeah,
again
look
under
at
the
this. It's in
summer.
a
It's
cracked
under the
egg.
summer plate.
And look at that. Do this on the camera there. Beautiful. He's mixing up the egg yolk. This is something.
This again is under the summer plates.
Look at that. It's called Prezzo Carbonara, right?
Mhm.
And oh my God, I want to dive into that yolk right now.
Well, there goes your diet.
What diet? It's suspended for any time.
I just
that
like
it's-
showing that they
for
do anything from
Italian
pizza to
restaurants.
sliders to even.
I was so good
plates.
last month, Eddie. I had the
We'll get you
vegetarian
back.
wrap.
You did.
He remembers.
Yes.
So
So yeah, I'm sorry.
So we decided, we love the community. The community has been missing something since we left, and then especially since Bruno left.
Left.
That we said, you know what, we want to bring something back there. We want to give back to the community.
So what's the timetable? You're hoping to have this new concept open up?
We're hoping for late fall.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're pretty optimistic on that.
Sometime in time for the holidays.
Mhm.
Of hopefully the Thanksgiving,
Mhm.
somewhere in between.
Yeah,
So we're going to be hopefully, starting to pull some permits here in the next couple weeks with the city. What we didn't want to do is go in there with a coat of paint and reopen.
Hmm.
So we said, if
Brand
we're
new.
going to do this, we need to do it the right way. Kind of make it so that people walk into the restaurant. They know
Reimagining the space, they
Yeah,
call it
exactly.
in the business.
They know it's us, but they need to see that it's a new restaurant. And part of it's going to be opening up the kitchen because it was always a closed kitchen. So you'll now
Interesting.
be able to see into the kitchen. Kind of opening up the bar and the restaurant area when they originally were kind of separated. So a couple little tweaks here and there, but we're really, really looking forward to getting that going and making it happen.
Well,
out
that's
there.
exciting.
I think
Well,
that's
you heard it
huge.
here first on
Yes.
the Lunchbox. Eddie Pozzoli and family have taken back possession of the Tavolino space, and they're going to be reimagining it. It's not going to be exactly the same. It's not even going to be having the same branding, but it is going to be a high
It
quality
will be the
restaurant.
same family.
The same
family
who
owned
built what you
restaurant,
loved.
Coral Springs institution.
Yeah.
But I guess the interesting part, Bruno now has forged his own path, and you're still friendly with him, right?
Oh, we're very close. We talk.
Yeah.
I mean, at least once a week.
And it just goes to show in this business, even though there's competitors, there's also friendships, long lasting that
Well, but that's
and there's enough to go around with a growing population, and again, long time loyal customers, guests that people can check out both, and both places can thrive and do great jobs.
Is he saying it'll be a little bit of everything as opposed to Lavello's is more basic, standard Italian? I think elevated Italian. What I find interesting about that's what I like this industry is you all. Look, you take it as he started here, he got a following here, he went on to do his thing. Good for him, like we're proud of him for building his own brand.
It's amazing. Anytime you see somebody going on to grow within the business is always great to see, and he's doing that right now, and I'm fortunate that we do get to talk as much, and I can kind of help if he has any questions on a lot of the operation side of things.
Stuff,
we can always share ideas back and forth, and we do have a really great relationship. So
and talk about gratifying. I mean, a guy like David, who now that you brought on, and
he was with us at Tavolino's as well. He's grown into now his own.
He was really cool, and I love the food that he put together.
In charge of 2 restaurants now. Like he said, going from just being a line cook with us at Tavolino's now, is one of the sharpest people when it comes to the business side of being in a kitchen, which is
it's rare,
necessary.
Yeah. It's a big part of the equation. Unfortunately for some chefs, they don't like that, but that's a key ingredient, so to speak, is spreadsheets and, costing out items. And at the end of the day, got to make that profit. And there's many ways to get there. And you guys are doing it in all the best ways with some of these great value deals. We're calling again. We're spotlighting. We'll let Lubie take the first bite of the Prezzo Carbonara.
And I do love that it's al dente.
Good.
Like the pasta is not overcooked. We didn't ask.
And this is fresh
happy
house made
hour
pasta.
It is.
Yeah.
But he's always been
fresh pasta. Yep.
So I appreciate that. And you can taste it. It's not just a throw in the pasta. It's a part of the dish because it is house made. You can taste the flavors in the chew, but it's not disintegrating in my mouth like mashed
None of that box
potatoes.
stuff.
And is that the guanciale? Or are you guys using?
He's not using. He doesn't use guanciale. It's why am I drawing a blank?
Prosciutto.
Not prosciutto.
Taylor
pancetta.
ham.
It was pancetta. It was pancetta.
Okay.
I was gonna help you out. I was like, I feel like I remember reading what it was.
Yeah, I have those brain freezes all the time now. But this is delicious. Again, Eddie Pizzoli, we got to give the man
You guys
a
are
round of
fantastic, man.
applause. We came up here to Palm Beach Gardens. We see that, there is civilization up here in the 561. By the way, fun fact of the day: did you know the area code of the Palm Beach before it was 561? Do you know what it was before?
Was it 516?
No, that's the Long
That's New
Island.
York.
That's funny.
Five.
That's half the people do have a 516 on their cell
whenever we
phones.
take a reservation on the phone, it's always either 561 or 516.
There's something poetic about that, but no, 407 was the area code.
Isn't that Orlando?
Yeah.
Well,
Orlando.
now it's Orlando. Did you know?
Oh, they
And
switched
here's
it.
some
I never
more useless trivia that I always manage to come up with. When I first moved to Florida in 1989, my first phone number was 305 because at one point,
all of South Florida
this
was
I remember
state-
that one. Yeah,
at one point, this whole
you didn't have
state
to dial area codes back
You
then.
didn't
I
have
know.
to do area code because everyone had 305.
there was such few population in the whole state that the whole state had a 305 area code
Oh,
up
wow.
until like the late 70s, early
Oh, wow.
80s, and then it became divided into half 407, half 305.
Interesting.
And then now there's 20 something million people here, and everybody has their own area code. So there you go. Your fun fact of the day: we are in the 561, formerly the 407. Before that, the 305.
There you go.
And tomorrow we'll be back in the 954. We're going
Yes.
to be visiting again. It's everybody loves Italian. Stromboli's Pizza in Plantation, the Fountain Shop. We're going to have a good time with our man Nick. And then Thursday, we'll be culminating the Burger Month celebration with our friends at Gilbert's
Yes, sir.
17th Street Grill in Fort Lauderdale. But meanwhile, you should check out the two Prezzos.
The summer plates are fantastic, and
Summer
everything we had.
small
I don't know about the
plates.
pizza, but everything we had was a summer
They
plate.
have all kinds of other promotions. And then, of course, Corvina in Boca.
Social
it's called
hour.
The social hour.
Good luck.
Not the power
I
hour.
would get there at like 4:30.
Oh, yeah,
It's
get
like a
there early.
concert.
And hopefully we will see you there next month. We can do a
Yeah,
June
yeah,
celebration.
We'll
for
open up
the
the social hour.
Perfect.
That sounds great. If we could get Chef Jeff or
Yeah, Jeff was
whoever else
fantastic.
wants to join us, because Corvina is getting seafood
Top
done right. Very creative dishes too. All right, Eddie, thank you
You're the
as
best. Thank you,
always
man.
Thank you guys
the
for making the
hospitality.
trip up. I'll stamp your passport.
Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, there's no moats separating the
There's not.
counties.
You can drive in and out. It's very easily.
There are some tolls if you take the express lanes of the turnpike,
Mhm.
but we can deal with that. All right.
It's worth it.
I think we got all the breaks in.
We did everything.
We said everything we had to say. Again, congratulations to Dorothy Morell for her contest victory. And until tomorrow, it's we want to say go Panthers
Go
tonight.
Panthers. Come on, Cats.
Determinative game 4 tonight.
Come on, Cats.
They got to rally with the Cats tonight. Until tomorrow, enjoy every burger, enjoy every pasta, pizza, and enjoy every sandwich.